Hi, Jesse Durham here. Today we're going to cover another subject concerning becoming your own banker, the infinite banking concept as conceived and described by R. Nelson Nash in his book, Becoming Your Own Banker. Today's subject is going to be charitable giving. For me personally, I know that that's always been a very important thing for me to be able to do. It's how I was raised. I wasn't taught many things about money growing up personally in school and from parents and other family members and different things. I didn't have any kind of a business background. I was a high school Spanish teacher. But throughout my life, charitable giving has been an important thing. I know that it is for many people, and it'll come up as a subject in discussions when talking about being our own banker. So I'd like to be able to address that here today and answer some questions and give some food for thought, and hopefully this will be very helpful. For example, one question could be, let's just start with what's basic here and fundamental. Can I recapture, right? Because those are the three laws of banking. Pay yourself first, pay yourself with interest, recapture the money. So in the realm of charitable giving, can I recapture my charitable giving? Well, the answer is yes. And let's lay that out a little bit. So if we were wanting to give charitably, there are a couple of ways mechanically that we could go about that. Naturally, like I've done for all of my life, one way to give is just whatever our earnings are. We pick a number or a percentage, or if we're trying to meet a goal with some organization or some church or entity, then we could just give from our cash flows, from our earnings, whatever they may be, right? And then that job or that dollar performs that one job, and that's it. Whereas here in practicing the infinite banking concept, there are going to be many benefits to practicing IBC, the infinite banking concept, in our giving, in that we're going to continue to give the way we want. With a brand new policy, mechanically, we'll have to recognize that yes, there's going to be a capitalization phase there, where as we build a policy, there will be a measure of illiquidity. There will be a measure of our funds that are going to be building the policy. And we'll talk about what that can look like in the future, of course. But we will be challenged then, and it's a good challenge. It's a great way to stretch ourselves and use our imagination and our long-range thinking, like Nash has always encouraged us in his works, but to make up whatever the difference may be. So we may have, of course, access immediately, even in a brand new policy, to a certain amount of cash value to be able to contribute to our charitable giving. So instead of money coming right from our earnings or wherever that we receive money from for charitable giving, instead of it just accomplishing that one task, those same dollars could build a policy and those cash values be used for the charitable giving. And then of course we pay ourselves back, and we pay ourselves back with interest, and we capture that so that eventually we just end up giving more and more and more. So the dollars can perform more than one task, and that's a beautiful thing. We're stretched to make up whatever the difference may be of what we're accustomed to giving or what we aspire to give by stretching ourselves to grow and expand and do more and become better to make up whatever that difference may be. And of course that's all involved in how a policy is structured. That's why a conversation is so important. A one-on-one conversation is so important on building a policy for its intended purpose. Now, if you have an existing policy that may be more along its road to efficiency, it's more and more efficient, you may have less of an amount to make up a difference for, to reach a number that you aspire or want to be able to give. But also, depending on how long you've been your own banker and been practicing expanding your system of policies, your banking system, your private banking system, to be your own banker, you may have a policy that already gives you access on a regular basis to more cash values than premiums paid into it. And that's a beautiful thing, because again, ultimately, in this long-range thinking, the way we're going to, honor Nash by continuing to remember long-range thinking and also honor our charitable giving, is that in the long range, we're going to be able to give more over the same span of time that we otherwise would have given by practicing the infinite banking concept, because we can recapture those dollars, grow those dollars, and give more and give more. Now, let's address the question of should I? Because as I've been explaining these things of the mechanics You may have some questions like I did the first time that it even dawned on me that I could be considering practicing the infinite banking concept in regards to my charitable giving. And it was something that I had to mentally, spiritually work through, to process, to brainstorm and walk that out in my mind, to verify and to validate that yes, if I can ultimately give more than I otherwise would have been able to, why wouldn't I? Wouldn't that be rather stingy of me, or at least not performing to my best stewarding abilities if I know how to give more but don't actually put it into practice to give more? By practicing the infinite banking concept, by using the dollars that I would have given otherwise to build policies and to donate, and to be able to donate more over that same course of time, over those same years. So those are a lot of the advantages of the living benefits that we're still able to give in the here and now immediately. It causes us to stretch our thinking, to stretch our means, to grow ourselves. And also we're able to give more over the long range from our cash values while we're alive. And then ultimately when we graduate, of course it's within our power to be able to give a great gift of a tax-free death benefit. You know, whatever church or organization that we deeply care about could be receiving a very hefty sum of money that would cause them to remember you with great kindness. And it's a great way for us to be able to leave a legacy of impact by having practiced the infinite banking concept. Our dollars can be used to give today, and we recapture those, and we're able to give more. We recapture those, and we're able to give them more. And then ultimately, when we graduate, we can leave a death benefit that could put on a new wing, that could just do some very amazing things. You know what's important to you. Just ask yourself how you would feel to be in a position to give more now and to be able to give more in the long range also. So it's a great thing to be able to consider just how that could be structured for your personal situation, to be able to give more, to be able to recapture that, be in control, not take any risk, have your dollars accomplish more than one task at a time, and impact others in a great way. Now, some side benefits or some byproducts of course, being a cheerful giver, of being somebody who donates or tips well or tithes or offers or gifts, whatever it is that you like to be able to do, there are a lot of benefits for the giver. Naturally, there are a lot of benefits for those that we're able to assist and help and encourage and be a blessing to. But also, there are many, many benefits that the giver receives. And the more that this stays on our radar, the more that we are capable of giving, then the more blessed that we're going to be because of it, both in how we envelop our financial footprint by practicing the infinite banking concept, but how we're able to charitably give to others as well. So that natural law of sowing and reaping, I believe really plays into effect of how we develop our business, how we develop our investing, how we can develop our relationships and many other things, of course, but also greatly so in our charitable giving. I believe that personally, at least for myself, that I probably benefit just as much, if not more, in every situation where I have had the opportunity and the capability to be able to charitably give for a particular job or project or need, whatever the case may be. So when considering charitable giving and how it plays a role in becoming your own banker, if that's something that is important to you, or if that's something that you've arrived at by watching this video and you're just trying to figure out what that could look like for you, again, I would just encourage you to dive back into Nelson's works, Becoming Your Own Banker, his second book, Building Your Warehouse of Wealth. Because again, the more that you have, the more that you can give. The more capable you are, the more capable you are. And this system that we can put in place can be a benefit, of course, to ourselves, to our heirs, to our family, but also to the places and people and organizations that we care deeply about. both now and in the long range. So again, just remember, in practicing the infinite banking concept, we're going to be using our imagination. We're going to be thinking logically and rationally. It's good to consider a plan. It's good to have a conversation about what this could look like for you, and to have a policy or policies built systematically for the purpose that you intend in your charitable giving. Or perhaps you could transition and a policy that you already have, of course, to use as your charitable giving. And I would love to talk about what that could look like for you and help you along your way to be able to give in the way that you want to more and more as time goes on. So I know that this has been a fun subject for me to cover, the idea of giving charitably and how we can recapture that to be able to give more over the span of our life, and then ultimately how we can even leave a death benefit to impact our legacy with the organizations and the people and the causes that we care deeply about. It's been a great pleasure for me. If you'd like to have a conversation about a specific question that you have, or to look at how we could construct a policy for your intended purposes in giving charitably, I'd love to be able to have that conversation with you. You can reach me at 828-817-4223 or by email at durhamtalents@gmail.com. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you have a great day. We'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.